Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another AFLW Fantasy Fanatics Twitter space pre-lockout chat. We're recording live on Friday, the 27th of October, ahead of round 9. So only two. Oh, and again, I've done it again. I do it all the time. You probably guys can hear that, but I always have my computer volume up and don't put on bloody mute. But yeah, ahead of round 9. So we only got 2 weeks left. So only 6 trades to go in our sides. Hopefully, most of you guys have got your teams sort of complete and you're just sort of trying to sideways to some players that have got some good matchups to come. That's sort of what I'm doing a bit of in the last couple of weeks. Hopefully, get back inside the top 500. I'm 594 now after having a couple of sort of just. I had a look at the team value for my own team, and I'm about $1 million off of like those top teams. So I'm at 17.953, I think it was. A lot of the teams at the top are like 18.5 minimum plus, and they're like looking at like near 19 million. So I'm a fair bit off in terms of team value. I like the team that I've got sort of post trades, but yeah, just a few floor scores. Unfortunately, just not getting all the ceiling scores has meant that I was ranked 180 something or 190 after week 1, and just sort of slowly just sort of gone back out to about 500. So I thought I've had a few good picks, but maybe not. But yeah, so we got now just over an hour until lockout. So if you are tuning in live on YouTube or on Twitter, as always, appreciate everyone that does tune in live. But yeah, make sure you send your questions through. And yeah, I'm hoping that might get 1 or 2 people jumping on shortly to help with some questions and stuff. Still haven't confirmed if they're coming on or not yet, but hopefully they do. So yeah, we'll get into all of your questions. In terms of moves I'm making this week, it's a difficult week. I think a lot of people have this week found a bit tricky with trades. So at this stage, the moves I'm making, I'm going Talia Fellows to Lalauifi because I have got Fellows in utility. So getting a 300k basement player is nice. I've got Mackin in my forward line who's not actually playing, but I don't think I really need players that are playing on my bench, especially my forward line. I think the forwards are pretty good there. So, but yeah, so going Fellows to Lalauifi. Then I'm actually going Nina Morrison out, which this is probably one of those ones that probably comes back to bite me. But I'm getting in Sabrina Frederick from Collingwood. Good match against Sydney this week with no Ali Morford. I'm hoping that she can put up a good score. And then I'll be going Georgie Prasparkas up to Anne Hatchard finally. Can finally get Anne Hatchard in and have my Crows duo in the midfield, which is very nice. I think Hatchard is underpriced based on last week, just with the whole going off for 15, 20 minutes with the concussion test. So I think that she's underpriced based on what it is. So that is currently what I'm looking at doing. I did think of just going Benici to Ali Anderson and keeping Nina Morrison, but I think Benici and Frederick both against Sydney, I think that they can put up good scores compared to Anderson at St Kilda. Could potentially get tagged. I've thought all week that maybe Hannah Priest goes back into the midfield and goes and tags Ali Anderson. Maybe that's just wishful thinking because I own Hannah Priest still, and she's gone down a truckload of money in the last few weeks. So maybe it is wishful thinking. And then you're keeping Nina Morrison. So it pretty much comes down to, do I want Anderson and Morrison or do I want Benici and Frederick? And I'm currently on Benici and Frederick, but that could change before the end, like before we lockout lift. So in terms of vice captain captains, I'm going VC on Rowbottom tonight, and then Marinoff will be my captain on Sunday. So that's what I'm looking at there. I don't see that changing. I think that that's pretty much sort of set in terms of what I'll be doing. So I can't imagine changing. Just going to look there. Sabrina Frederick will be my second highest price forward there. So very nice. I'm just sorting all my players out in price because I always like doing that. And then who would I rather do? I want Lalauifi or do I want Dersma on my bench as my emergency in defence? Who do I want? Probably Dersma, but I don't think it really matters. Literally, I don't think it matters. I think both will score about the same anyway. So, but yeah, that's how we're looking at there. Moreira's Magic's actually the one that I'm sort of quite keen on doing well in now because I'm at 144th. I'm 100 points behind a hat. I still think I can get there. So that's the hope anyway. With Maggie Gorham out, I was hoping she'd just play and I could just sort of have her there at F5 and not have to worry about doing anything. But I'm going to have to trade her out. So at this stage, I'm going in Moreira's Magic. I'm going Harriet Cordner to Brooke Walker from Essendon, who has been playing midfield. I've been liking what she's doing, so getting her in. I've been going Charlie Wicksteed down, cashing her in to a basement. I'm actually just filling them in here as I'm speaking, but I knew what I was doing anyway. You're going Wicksteed, no, not defenders. So Wicksteed down to, who was the basement midfielder I was looking at? I think it was just Neve Martin was really the only one that was available as a midfielder. So yeah, Neve Martin will be there. Then going Cordner to Brooke Walker, and my final trade is just Maggie Gorham to Gabby O'Sullivan, which I'm not sitting here going I love the move, but it's sort of the best I can do, I think. The only other player I'm looking at here that I could possibly get, so I can get a 73k forward. So you got like Paige Scott. What's Paige Scott done? Is it going to come up with the scores or just not do it for me? Come on, where's it gone? Here. No, of course it's not. Actually, if I do this, it will come up instead. So, because yeah, there's Paige Scott, Nikki Xenos, Cynthia Hamilton, and then Gabby O'Sullivan. They're probably like the four that I'm looking at. So what's Paige Scott? No, it doesn't even come up there either. Don't know what's stuffing around on Moreira's Magic website at the moment. Won't let me view what their scores have been. Normally it does though. Normally if you go, no, it's not doing it. So yeah, but so Xenos and Paige Scott are averaging 50 each. Going down, so Cindy Hamilton scored an 89 last week. Could go her potentially if I wanted to. Yeah, so pretty much I think it just looks like, so I think Gabby O'Sullivan's almost the best available, I think. So I might just have to go her. I don't love the trade. I just wish Gorham wasn't out. I wish that Gorham was actually playing, which would be handy. But I think that's where I'll be with the trades, I reckon. So I think the only other option I've got is if I went like a Sachi sign, for instance, and just throw away F5 and then go, how much money have I got? 38k. Oh, but hang on, that's obviously you remove Wicksteed and that. So you got 20k, put it on top of someone. It's probably not there's not really anything I can do. I could go Georgie Sparks to Anne Hatchard. That's about the only move I could do. Do I want to do that in Rosebank? It's probably not worth it, I don't think. Anyone have any thoughts on that, actually? Would you rather Anne Hatchard and Sachi Syme or Georgie... Oh, no, it's Georgie Sparks, Gabby O'Sullivan. Reading it out loud, it makes sense to be doing that. So that is what I'll do. Sullivan there. Apparently it says breach the salary cap, apparently. So Wicksteed out, and I'll do my original trades. So Neve Martin in. Actually, I could actually do Abby Dowrick to Bonnie Toogood. But I feel like getting rid of, I've got to get a better F5, get someone that's just at least capable of doing it. Now Neve Martin's disappeared, so I'm going to have to refresh my page again. Stupid. The Rose Magic website's stuffing up for me at the moment. Don't know exactly why. Policy Skies, I will get to your questions in a second. I'm just fiddling around with this so I can get my trades sorted, locked in, and then I can be fully focused on all your guys' questions and trades Neve Martin, good. Now she's showing up. Don't know why she wasn't showing up before. Harriet Cordner to Brooke Walker. And then Maggie Gorham to Gabby O'Sullivan. And I think I'll have a little bit of cash for next week because I do have Maddie Prasparkas with Lucy single tag next week. So we'll probably trade Maddie Prasparkas next week and maybe do a couple other moves. Maybe go, do I even have enough money to go rookie down? If anyone is wanting to know what my Moraes Magic team is, it's Tani Evans, Ella Heads, Brooke Walker, Tanya Kennedy, Emily Everest. Then I've got Abby Dowrick as my ruck, obviously utility I'm rocking there. Jazz Garner, Laura Gardner, Maddie Prasparkas, Georgie Prasparkas, and Britt Benici. Then Zali Goldsworthy, Keely Shearer, Chloe Malloy, Nicola Barr, and Gabby O'Sullivan. So that's the team I've currently got in terms of captains. I might go Maddie Prasparkas this week as captain. She's got Carlton, good matchup. Or do I just go Jazz Garner? Maybe I just go Jazz Garner. I could go Laura Gardner as well. Collingwood, to be fair, Laura Gardner has just been amazing. So I probably could just go here, actually. It'd be interesting to see who Sliding Doors and that would have as captain, and also Liam, who would have as captain. So I know Liam's not tuning at the moment, but it'd be good to see who he'd have as captain. So I'm just going Twitter, and I'm talking about in terms of the players I've got Moraes mentioning. So I would just put Robot on captain, but I don't have her in Moraes Magic, and I don't know if there's a way of me getting her. So I'm just going to quickly search up Sliding Doors. Put their captains up yet? I can't see it at the moment. Let's have a look. All right, so there it is. So Sliding Doors, they put their captains up. Let's have a look. So go through captains. Hopefully, JS and Jackson have put up their captains for the week. If you haven't followed Sliding Doors, make sure you guys do. Sliding Doors AF on Twitter. So round 9 captains. Yep, so put up an hour ago. Perfect. So captains for this week. Charlie Robom sits at the top. No surprises there. Ebony Marinoff at 2. Ali Anderson at 3. Maddie Prasparkas at 4. Okay, interesting. Jazz Garner 5. Gardner 6. And Riddell 7. Hatchard, Georgie Prasparkas, and Mon Conti honourable mentions there as well. So, yeah, I'm tempted by Maddie Prasparkas. In fact, she's got Carlton, good matchup. They give up a lot of points. Jazz Garner's got the Crows. I don't know. I don't see her going and putting up a huge score. And then Laura Gardner, who's been obviously amazing. And I think Garner could get tagged. Sorry, yeah, Garner could get tagged as well. So I might stick it on Laura Gardner for now. Sorry, just had to sneeze there. Yeah, I reckon I'm going Laura Gardner. I think because I don't think I can afford Charlie Rowbottom. I think she's too expensive. I think anyway. Let's have a look. Here's the players. Rowbottom, 164k. Yeah, I think I'm like 6k short of going like a Georgie Prasparkas to Rowbottom, so I don't think I could quite get to her. That's all right. That's all good. We will do that anyway. And thinking about it more, I might even go Benici to Hatchard over Georgie Prasparkas, because at least. So with Benici, Benici's she's only had the 300s this season. She's gone a couple of 80s there. Been a bit up and down. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Who would you guys trade, actually? That's a good question for you guys. Would you guys trade at Benici or Georgie Prasparkas? That's a good one for everyone there. So, yeah. All right, beautiful. Let's get into some questions anyway. Hopefully someone jumps on at some point to help with questions, but I'll get through as many as I can up until lockout. So if you guys are watching live on YouTube or Twitter, send through your questions and I'll get to the get through the questions. So, first one comes from Ben O. He says, thoughts on the following trades. So, Georgia Sparkers, Jenna Bruton, and Nina Morrison out. In Rowbottom, Hatchard, and Kaufman, just about the best forward I can afford. Yeah, I don't mind it. How much is Kaufman, actually? Let's have a look. Kaufman is priced at 667. Yeah. I'd almost be tempted, Ben, that you potentially could do something like maybe not getting Rowbottom and going and getting someone like Ali Anderson, who's a bit cheaper, and then using that money instead of getting Kaufman, going and getting a better forward. So I know Chelsea Randall's at 734. If you can get her, she's a good target. But I don't mind the trades. Kaufman could be okay, and I like the Rowbottom Hatchard in. So I'm just having a look at your current side here. Evans, Carney, Sheeran, Allen, and Darcy. Gardner, Marinoff, Rowbottom, Riddell, Hatchard. Schultz, Gardner, Hoare, Goldsworthy, Roberts, and Kaufman. See, I don't mind it. I don't mind those trades at all. If you want Rowbottom and you're happy with Kaufman, I'd be ticking those off. But you could go Anderson and Randall, or you might be able to get to even a better forward than Randall potentially. So, but I like the trades regardless. Jason, ranked 79. Only option I think I have is Benici to any mid under 1.18 this week. What's the best options? Another option I have is to put a green dot on the bench, as I have none in the forward in a few positions if Benici's seen as not much of a difference to the players I can afford. So who can you get? You can get Prosparkas, Whitford, Bree Davey, Amy McDonald, Jenna Bruton, Benici, Bates, King, Shearer, Swanson. I'm almost, I'm almost at the point where it's probably not a huge upgrade if you're going either way anyway. You probably only want that cash if you're making a big upgrade on the other side. So I'd be happy just to maybe just do a bench shuffle and keep Benici. But if you're looking at the options there, Claudia Whitford could go pretty well tonight against GOS in a good matchup. Emily Bates, if she doesn't get tagged, has got two good matchups to finish, and Emma Swan's got the Dogs if you're looking at options. But I'd be happy to just keep Benici if I'm being honest there. Trevor Squires, who is the better bench choice, Webb or Hartill, who did some ruck work? Essendon defenders downgrade on-field choice, Bush or Van Dyke. I wouldn't be bringing in Bush or Van Dyke. I can't see them being good options. So is it Webb or Hartill? So Webb basement, has she played yet? No, it hasn't played this season. And then you've got Hartill. So Hartill, 370. If they're on your bench, I know that she played in the rut last week and had 26 hitouts. If you're looking for bench, I'd just be getting 300k at this point. There's 2 weeks to go. You're probably not going to, unless you need cash for next week and someone to make money, then get Hartill. But if you don't need any money next week and you're fine, I'd be just getting Webb and just getting a basement player there. So that's what I would be doing. Luke Bowman, thoughts on Tierney to a 300k mid? Wardlaw to Randall and Bruton to Hatchard. Can also trade Pound to Darcy instead of Tierney, but thought Pound may be okay without Peterson. Yeah, correct. Yeah, I'd be keeping Gab Pound now with Karen Peterson being out, so I would be doing the trades. And I like the trades. Randall coming in's good in, and Hatchard as well. I like the Crows matchup next week with West Coast, so I do like the double Crows in there. And yeah, I'd be keeping Gab Pound with Karen Peterson being out. Riley Farm, should the Adelaide Crows go to Thebarton Oval? Well, I think their training facility is going to be there, so I guess they are going there. And then you said, what is your favourite state team? Norwood for me. Norwood's my favourite state team. Crows is next, but I still have Norwood as number one. Justin Fletcher, best mid under 1.1 mil, thinking Bates. I think it's Swanson, I think. I like the matchup with Western Bulldogs this week. If you're looking for a ceiling, it's probably Emily Bates. If you're looking for just a safe, solid, probably 100, 110, I would be going for Emma Swanson, who coming off a 116, she goes another 100 and she'll make a bit of money as well. So I'm personally would be going Swanson, but Swanson or Bates are probably the two for me that I like. Zinyi, I hope I've said that correctly. What are the chances of Randall being a late out due to birth of first child? Yes, that's a good question. I guess it's around the due date for MJ. So, I don't think it's a chance, but the hope is that, I didn't even take that into account. So has that been a bit of news? Has there been rumours that she may be a laid out because of that? I don't know. We'll have to see, but it could happen. It could happen. So Bloodsport 005, at least Hatcher will be possibly next week, cheaper next week. I'm still going either this week. I'm happy to jump on it a week early because my aim is to get Ash Riddell next week. That's the other play I've got is instead of going Morrison across to Frederick, I could just bring in Riddell this week and then maybe wait a week on Hatchard. But at this stage, I'm going to go get Hatchard. Cedric Wong, showing Nicola Barr needs to go, but no Mullet should go 150 tonight. Yeah, I know, knowing everyone's, that's happened to me plenty of times this season. If she's one of your biggest issues, she can go, but I don't hate keeping her with Elise Parker being out. Still, that midfield role should be there. But then again, Giants throwing everything around, I'd be happy to trade. Sneeko, Georgie Prosparkas and Benici have both averaged 93 if you disregard the Bulldogs game. Prosparkas also getting tagged by Sarah Hosking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. That's why I originally was going Prosparkas out because of the Hosking tag potentially coming. So, yeah, actually, thanks, Sneeko, for saying that. I think that's pretty much made up my mind that I will be keeping Benici and going Georgie Prosparkas out just with that tag. And then again, that makes me think maybe in Moreira's Magic to maybe trade Georgie out instead. That could be something there. What do we got here? So the Robertinas, thoughts on who makes way for Too Good? Malloy with 187k in the bank. Surely she doesn't score well v Collingwood, but I actually think she will score well. It's a former side, and it was actually quite good during the week that the MVP vote that I always do. I actually DM'd Chloe thanking her for voting because if you guys missed it, Chloe Malloy and Ebony Marin, I've actually voted on the MVP vote this week. It's the first two players this season, which was fantastic. Good to get a couple of players voting in the MVP this week. And I actually messaged Chloe and said, thank you very much for voting your first player to vote. Like, good go on the weekend. Looking forward to playing your side. She actually messaged back and said, she's looking forward to it. It should be a good game. So I think she'll go well this week. And then Morrison with 90k in the bank. I've heard she's not in the main midfield rotation anymore. Yeah, that's true. She is in the main sort of rotation. So I'd be trading Morrison between the two. And I know, Robertine, I know that your profile pictures you're obviously clearly a Geelong fan and got Morrison and George Prosparkas as your profile picture. But unfortunately, I'd probably be trading Morrison this week, I think. So Gareth Evans, thoughts on these trades? Morrison to Conway, Maloney to Randall, and Bruton to Anderson. Yeah, I don't mind them. I'll tick them off. Yeah, because a lot of people doing these sideways switches. I don't know about Morrison to Conway. That's probably the only one I'm sort of like, I think they could probably do quite similar. And plus Conway's got Melbourne next week, so I'd probably be targeting a full. It's probably got two good matchups to come. The Randall trade I like, the Ali Anderson trade I like. If you can get maybe different fall for Conway, but I don't mind the trade regardless, even if you can move Conway next week potentially. Corey Blackledge is trying to get top 20. Should I go Sheeran to Britt Walker, Hoare to Lily Goss, and Morrison to Too Good? Or Daisy Darcy to O'Shea? Okay, so hang on. So you're going Sheeran to Britt Walker, Aaron Hoare to Lily Goss, and Morrison to Too Good. Yep. Or the second option is Daisy Darcy to O'Shea, Morrison to Randall, and Hoare to Frederick. I think it's the first one. If you're going out of the two, Sheeran to Britt Walker, it's cash grab. Britt Walker playing midfield. Then obviously bench downgrade, then going Morrison to Too Good. Then so Daisy Darcy to O'Shea, Morrison to Randall, and Hoare to Frederick. I'm assuming that's Kate Hoare. I'd be probably holding Kate Hoare personally. I'd probably go the first option, I think. That's what I'd probably be going, Corey. Matt says, for his Magic, I need to upgrade Everest. So I'm looking at Britt Walker from the Bombers or Eric O'Shea from North. Who would you trade in out of those players? Currently ranked 100D6 overall, so I'm close to first top 100 in any format. I would be going Britt Walker personally, playing midfield for the Bombers. I think that would be the way I'm going. But then again, Eric O'Shea's been really good for North, essentially scoring better in every game. But I'd be going Britt Walker, I think. Michelle's, I have to trade at single and at least one of my defenders, Priest, Pound, or Cordner. Peterson isn't playing this week, but defenders usually don't score well against the Dons. Should I trade two defenders or just one defender and swap Malloy to Frederick? Example trades attached. So you got Malloy to Frederick, Priest to Walker, single to Randall, Priest to Darcy, Pound to Evans, and then Pound to Conan, Priest to Walker, and single to Randall. So, Michelle, what I'd probably do, I don't know if I'd go Malloy to Frederick. If I were you, I'd go single to Randall. I'd go Cordner out, before. I'd rather keep Cab Pound with Peterson out. I'd go Cordner to Brooke Walker, and then whatever you can do with that final trade, if you can maybe sideways switch someone or maybe just get some more cash, that would probably be my advisos there. But I'll be going Cordner to Walker, Single to Randall was probably two of the trades I'll be making. But you could also go Cordner to Brooke Walker, a rookie down, and then go Lucy Single up to a forward that's sort of around the top five. Maybe go to Frederick. That could be something you do. Andrew, Sheeran to Cave, Huntington, and Sheeran to Walker, and Huntington to basement, Sheeran to Walker, and Madison for Benici. Are you talking about Maddie Prasparkas for Benici? If that's the case, I don't know if I'll be getting Maddie Prasparkas this week just because she'll get tagged by Lucy Single next week. So I'd probably be looking at maybe another option in the midfield, but I don't mind the sort of the moves and that anyway. Michelle, I was thinking of bringing in Conan because of Spark is out due to illness and listed on the ball. It's definitely an option. Definitely something to consider. You could go Conan over Brooke Walker if you want to go something a bit different. I'm happy for either or, whichever way you guys telling you there, Michelle. Bloodsport 005, hey Bales and guys / gals. Who do we think the weather for tonight helps? Will it be a stoppage tackle feast? Thinking Robot and BC. Yeah, I have heard that it is meant to be a bit not great weather tonight. So yeah, for me, I think that it will favour someone like Charlie Rowbottom. I think it's perfectly suited for someone like her. So yeah, I've had the VC on her for a week and I haven't changed it. So I'm going to keep it as is. I'm just trying to find my PlayStation remote because I want to start turning the TV on because obviously the footy will be starting soon. But I don't know where I put my remote. So hopefully I can find it soon. Should have put it up earlier. Where did I put it? But he's losing things. I'll find it at some point. But I'm just taking a quick minute break because there's no other questions currently. So if you guys have still got questions that you want answered, keep sending those through. And I'll keep... Oh, hang on. I'll put it in my drawer. That's right. Yeah. There it is. Perfect. Found it. Perfect. Alrighty. Good. I can get the TV set up, ready to go for when the footy starts. If you guys got questions, keep sending them through. We still have... How long have we got? Still got half an hour, or sorry, about 45 minutes, just under 45 minutes to go before the lockout hits. So make sure you keep sending through questions on Twitter and YouTube. So I don't know if anyone's actually jumping on tonight, unfortunately. Let's have a look. Perfect. All right. TV's up and running. Corey, thoughts on Daisy Darcy known at half forward? Will it be a better role than her defender role last few weeks? Well, so watching that last week, she was quite quiet in the first half, playing behind the ball and playing quite deep actually, which I wasn't a huge fan of. Moved in front of the ball in the second half and looked good and got a fair bit of it. Part of me is tempted to trade her out though, because if the weather's meant to be wet and that, I don't know if she's... But then again, she's not really a huge mark player anyway. It's not like she takes 10 marks a game. It's not like the men's where you probably, if luxury trades, but bad weather, you maybe trade out a defender that takes a lot of marks. It's a bit different. So she's playing in front of the ball. I expect her to get a fair bit of it. So, I think it's a better role. But I guess we'll have to see anyway. So I'm just going to put on Fox Footy on my TV, and then we'll get this up and running. There you go, Fox Footy, perfect. Here we go, beautiful. Got a couple more questions coming through here, which is great. So MJ says, "Who's the best basic price rookie this week?" For me, I think it's Laloifi, just because she's not going to be a huge scorer as shown by games, but she's going to play both the games. she's gone down 343k. So she was 643k to start the year. So it's sort of me just sort of thinking, well, maybe she's just good cover to have there anyway. So yeah, I would be getting Lalawaifi Pros. My pick is a 300k. If it's different positions, then who have we got? So I'll go all and have a look here at the 300k players. So you got, I'm just having a look at. So you got Emily Smith from Collingwood, hadn't scored too great. Jess Wushner from the Bombers. She's probably a decent. She's probably going to be my pick if I was going to get a forward. Sophie Casey's there, sort of just being solid besides last week where she only scored 8 points. Elise Barwick is there as well. Is it? Yeah, Matea Breed, Charlotte Wilson, Kate Bartlett, Jen Lawson-Tavern, Alex Morecambe, Lalawaifi. Is it Imogen Milford? Yep. Serena Gibbs as well is there. Sophie Locke's not a bad play in the forward line. Georgia Gowell is making her debut for Melbourne as well. Jo Lynn as well could be another one. I know she hasn't scored great this season, but scored okay last season. Yeah, it's pretty much about a lot of the players that are a basement are players that have like scored poorly and then have dropped a lot of cash. So yeah, for me, I think it's Lalawaifi is probably the pick. Caitlin Pope's not bad. She's going to play for Port, so she could be one. Charlotte Taylor playing her first game. I don't know if that's first game for Collingwood or first game for the season, but she's playing for Collingwood. Janome Anderson, Wilstra as a ruck that's been named as well for Freo. Amy Franklin, Paige Trudgeons. A lot of actually Serena K players being named. Bella Smith as well, playing for Brisbane. Gurmick, McClay, Heidi Woodley. I think it's Heidi Woodley, I reckon. Yeah, good. I got it correct. Beraldson, Webb, obviously from West Coast, could be another pick as well. And then you've got Ellery Morris, who got back-to-back 40s and then sort of has just been between sort of 10 and 30 in every other game. She got to 31 last week, but then you got Dunn, Finn, Neve Martin. Like, there's a lot of these players that are, basement. Sachi Syme actually could be one. She scored 51 last week. She might make a little bit of money. So that might be, actually, think about it now, I probably could go Sachi Syme over Lalawaifi, to be fair, because by doing that, it gets me a player that's actually going to make a bit of money. So that could be the way I go with that, and don't worry about Lalawaifi. So actually, probably a good thing I've looked at this actually. Yeah, it's probably how I would go there. Aaron Callahan, Riddell was pod captain if Robon doesn't score. Well, yeah, I don't mind it. Crows give up points. Riddell's not going to get tagged, so yeah, could be a good shout. I know that Slowing Doors have got Riddell at number 7, so you got Garner, Maddie Praspargas, Ali Anderson, and other options as well. So yeah, definitely could be a play there. Strom or Edmonds. What is the price? No, obviously Edmonds missed last week. What's the price difference? Is there much for price difference? Let's have a look. So price difference. Strom 946, Edmonds is 916. What did Edmonds do in the last game? So 62-60. Obviously, Slim Moo's actually going to be the solo ruck. Mimstrom's got Melbourne down at Casey Field. So it probably comes down to what they're matched. So I think it's Edmonds with West Coast this week. If you're looking at the matchup for this week, what's the matchup next week? So Edmonds has got North, so the ruck duo at North there, and Strom's got Sydney. So funny enough, they've both got sort of a toughish matchup, and then they've got a decent matchup, whatever. I still lean Edmonds just with the saving 30k, but Strom has looked very good. And so what's Strom averaging for the season? She's averaging 82.6. Edmonds averaging 77.6. So if you want the person that's been more consistent this season, it's Strom. But if you want the instant reward for matchup this week, then I would go for Edmonds. But it's a tough call, actually, looking at it there. Ashnan Curves, is it worth having a punt on Bates or Dowrick for a pod, or just stick with Georgie Prasparkas? I think, Ash, it just depends what else in your team in terms of what other moves could you potentially make. If there's another move you could make, maybe. But if there's not, then you could take a punt on someone like that. So, it just depends. I don't know exactly what your team looks like. So, if there's no other trades to be made, you could do it. But it could be one of those trades where you trade Prasparkas, she goes over 100. And you get in a player that gets an 80 and it costs you 20, 30 points. So, yeah. Any questions on YouTube? Yep, good. We've got a few here. So, Jeremy Choi, Morrison to Too Good or Georgie to Riddell? So, Riddell and Morrison or Too Good and Prasparkas? I think about it now with Georgie Prasparkas potentially getting a tag from Sarah Hosking. I'd go and get Riddell. I think I'd get Riddell this week. She's got a great matchup next week. She's got a decent matchup as well this week against the Crows, who give up points. So I would be going Georgie to Riddell this week, I think. Shinyi, thoughts on Barter Hoare? Yeah, I don't mind it. Yep, Kate Hoare likes playing Freo. She likes playing at Casey Field. So, yeah, I don't mind that trade. You got the ceiling play of Kate Hoare as well. Corey Blackledge, I'm hoping next week I can afford Riddell for Matty Prasparkas and Hatchard for Derek. Yep, that'd be good. A couple of good trades there, Corey, if you can afford doing something like that. So, Bloodsport 005, thoughts on Frederick putting points on other forwards and what's it worth, i.e. trading Hoare, Roberts or Malloy for her at expense of, say, small backline, etc. Oh, yeah, so just saying so one of those to Frederick or going a backline switch. Well, Frederick's got Sydney this week. I expect 30 hitouts at least. She'll get a bit of the ball as well. Then she's got Richmond next week. If she's up against Poppy Kelly for a lot of the day and Gabby Seymour, I think Frederick will dominate hitouts. So I think it's a couple of good matchups there for Frederick. That's why I'm jumping on her this week. But yes, I'd probably prefer to do that. If you're trading one of Hoare, Roberts or Malloy, it's tough because Roberts has got Bulldogs. I think Malloy will go well against Collingwood. I think Hall will go well against Freo. So maybe you don't. Maybe if you've got Morrison, I'd do that. But maybe if you've got a defender, maybe you do that. Switch instead. That could be something that maybe you do. I'm just looking. Do I have to lock in any of my trades tonight? So no, I don't actually, which is good. So I don't actually have to lock in the official trades this week. Right, so if I go, I'm just having a look. So I'm just seeing with Mraz Magic, do I go Georgie Prasparkas out and get Sachi Syme, or just keep Georgie there and just get Gabby O'Sullivan to get a better forward in there? So what's Gabby O'Sullivan done? So she got 79 last week, then not great before that. She was tackling last week, hit a couple of goals. She plays a bit more midfield, then maybe she tackles a bit more. So I'm thinking I might stick with the trades there. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how everything goes. I'm still wondering if I go Gardner or Matty Prasparkas captain. That's probably what I'm thinking. Could even go Goldsworthy captain, to be fair, if I want to go something really unique. Yeah, so have we got any more questions still coming through at all? Doesn't look like it. If not, if there are any questions, I can always head off unless someone does jump on. I don't know if anyone is. It's not. I think a lot of people are either busy or got other stuff on. So I'll go for a couple more minutes. If there's no other questions or anything like that, I might wrap up. Even though it'll be a pretty short one today. I've pretty much got through all the questions and everything, and I can sort of go through my team last minute and make a couple of necessary changes that I need to make. Actually, all right. So I'll quickly go through some options anyway that people are considering. Oh, and we got a question here. So Mark says Morrison to Kate Hoare, Georgie Prasparkas to Anderson or Hatchard. Anderson's got the better matchup, but I prefer Hatchard with the ceiling and the matchup next week, even though she will drop a bit of cash or go Morrison to Frederick and Georgia Space to Emily Bates. So it comes down to Hoare and Hatchard or Frederick and Bates. I think it's Hoare and Hatchard for me. I think I'd rather that combo. I know Frederick will go pretty well this week, and Bates could go okay. But then again, you could rather Georgia Space and Frederick. But I think it's Kate Hoare and Anne Hatchard for me is the combo I would prefer there. Bloodsport 0055. Also, thoughts on Purcell as a cheaper pod play? Not for me. She had a good score. What was it? She had a good score last week. Was it like 110 or something like that? I think from memory. Let's just have a quick look. She's under $1 million, so she's 993. I don't think she's moved for like a month. I think she's been at that price for ages. So she's gone 105, 76, 77, 68, 111. I couldn't advise going Olivia Purcell. She had 3 good scores, but then the other scores besides 164, 56, 76, 77, 68. So she either goes big or she goes sub 70 essentially, or sub 80. Sorry. So yeah, I probably wouldn't go there personally. Gareth Evans, apologies, mate. Jumped on late. Don't know if you answered already. Thoughts on these trades? Morrison to Conway, Maloney to Randall, Bruton Anderson. Gareth, I was saying about that before. So I was saying that I like Maloney to Randall. I like Bruton, Ali Anderson. Conway, if that's the forward you can get, I don't mind it. But if you got Morrison, almost if you can go up to a Frederick instead, then that would be what I'd personally prefer. Michael Fairman, expect a drop from Moody with Good back in. I expect a little bit of drop. She's not going to go 135, but I don't expect Good to go 50% ruck after missing a week. I think that maybe Moody may be able to hold some of the majority of the ruck. Maybe it might be a 60-40, 65-35 split this week. So I think that Moody will be okay, even with Jess Good coming back into the side this week. I don't see her giving up. I don't know if I see it being 50-50 split first week back for Jess Good after being injured last week. So that's just what I think anyway. Bloodsport, thanks, Bales. All good, mate. Happy to help. Always happy to help. If you guys are enjoying the Twitter Spaces you're listening on Twitter, please give the Twitter Space a like and also subscribe. Not subscribe. Follow AFL Fantasy Fanatics on Twitter. Follow myself at Bales DT. Give it a retweet as well if you're enjoying it. Share it around out there. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, make sure you do give the video a big thumbs up. And also subscribe. I've lost a couple of subscribers actually last few days. 3 people unsubscribed, which unfortunately is happened. Hopefully I haven't done anything wrong there. But if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do on YouTube. Even the people listening in on Twitter, head over to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel there as well. So Shano says, Hall or Frederick to bring in? I'd be bringing Frederick in over Kate Hall this week. I've got that choice. I like the fact that Frederick is essentially going to have 25, 30 points essentially guaranteed off the bat, being a ruck. But the fact that she's also getting involved around the ground, she's been very, very good. So, I'm just going to get her scores up so far this season. So, lately she's been doing real. She's been getting better as the season gone on. So she's in her last. So she started off the season 45, 71 to 63. And she only had 11, 25, and 17 hitouts. But in her last 5 weeks, she's had no less than 29 hitouts, and her scores 105, 77, 76, 95, and 94. So she's tackling as well. She's had at least 5 tackles in every game since round 3. And literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, she's had 5 tackles. And then 1 game, she's had 8 tackles. So she's getting 5 tackles a game, a couple of marks a game. She's getting in around 10 touch the game as well. So for me, Frederick is the option I'd be bringing in there. So I think the last 2 weeks are a pretty good representation of what we can expect of about 10 touches, couple of tackles, 5 tackles, couple of marks, about 30 hitouts, and maybe an 85 to 95 score. But being a better matchup, she could push 100 next 2 weeks. So yeah, I do like her as a trade in this week. Right, so no other questions there. So I was going to go through a few options across the lines. Defense, I think The best options for me in defence. Let's have a look. So, Sharp Thomas. I don't even know if I'd be paying up for Sharp Thomas now. 985 is very expensive. We saw what Hannah Priest, 2 bad scores, and she can drop all on in price, but only 2 weeks to go. Bulldogs this week's a good matchup. Chantel Edmondson, if you're wanting a real pod, is a good option. Just been really solid and consistent back there this season. Only 5.5% owned. Emma O'Driscoll, Emma Carney, and Stan, all good options, but they are all over 800k. If you're looking for someone under 800k, Ella Heads has been solid. The only thing is she's got a couple of 88s and then a 53 and 48 in between. So pretty much 80s or 50s and 60s. So I don't know about her. She's got Collingwood this week. I think she's got a Freo next week. So a couple of decent matchups. Tani Evans, I'd almost ride Tani Evans with the potential ceiling of that she's got. She hasn't put up a real big ceiling score, Tani Evans, this year. So maybe she does it at some point. So maybe the weather tonight push you away from getting her this week. Brooke Walker as well, good option. Has gone 68 and 81 in the last 2 games. Playing shorter game time, but tackling a lot, playing a bit more in the midfield. So she's not a bad pick. Brie Cone, a few people suggest as well, with Kathy Svark being out, might play a bit more midfield. Gab Pound, I like with Karen Peterson being out. Only 45 last week. Peterson did play last week. And yeah, it's almost one of those ones where you probably don't want to touch the defence. Like, you could realistically, could you? I don't know if you go Hannah Priest 30, 36. You probably can't go Hannah Priest, but 654. Looking at Hannah Priest sitting there, average of 67 for the season, you could theoretically go. I don't mind that play. Geordie Allen could be another option as well. 75 and 60. She's really cheap. Maddie Gay's out again. She's literally so Maddie Gay played round 1, 2, 3, missed round 4, played round 5, played round 6, missed round 7, played round 8, missing round 9. That's very frustrating. I know a lot of people don't own her anymore, but it is frustrating when your players are sort of always in and out. So they're the defensive options. Midfield, again, plenty of options. Take your pick of the good matchups. Marinoff, Rowbottom, Garner. Hopefully everyone's got those. Ash Riddell, good option if you can afford her. Mon Conti's got a couple of tricky matchups to finish. I know she's got Geelong this week. Does someone pay a bit of attention? I think Geelong will be fine for. I don't expect much attention there. Then she's got Collingwood next week. So, yeah, Mon Conti's got a couple of good matchups. Mon Conti's an option there. Ellie Blackburn against the Eagles this week is a solid option. Could put up a pretty good score here. Got Kangaroos next week, so could put up a couple of decent scores. Ellie Blackburn. Mandy Praspas, I wouldn't go. Last week was a good option because she had 2 good games, but the fact she's got Gold Coast next week, Lucy Single will tag her. I probably wouldn't go her this week. Anne Hatchard's got North and West Coast. I like Anne Hatchard as an option. Kiara Bowers, if you want to be really sort of frisky with a pick there, could be an option that you sort of maybe go a little bit different to everyone else. You'd probably get wanting that to hope that her game time increases and she goes up. I think that she was limping a little bit as well. So I probably wouldn't personally. I'd go Hatchard, who's 5k more expensive, for Ali Anderson, who's 3k cheaper. Ali Anderson, who's been really consistent all season. Only 3 games she's gone under 100 this season. Round 1, round 6, and 8. And I know she got a bit of attention last week. I think, did she get a bit of attention from Randall or something? Collingwood, a bit of a lower scoring game, I think, in general, that one. Then round 1 against Richmond, I think she got tagged by Meg McDonald. So, yeah, she's as solid as they come. Bree Davies been pretty solid lately, 93, 122 and 88. I probably wouldn't go back there personally. Whitford as a pod, could you consider? What did she do last week? 84. Probably not, actually. She's gone 99, 99, 184. Pretty much a lot of those mids. Georgia Nanscorn, if you want to go really different, 95, 93, 122 in the last 3. She's got Carlton this week, and then Gold Coast. She won't get tagged, so could be a bit of a unique play. Would be sort of fairly unique going back to her after we all got rid of her either a few weeks ago or early in the season. But, hey, she's got it done last 3 weeks. So if you want to go real different, you could. Emily Bates is there as well. And then Emma Swanson's the cheapest one that I don't mind as well. Got the Bulldogs this week. Could put up a solid score there. Rucks, it pretty much comes down to it's probably Strom and Edmonds and Bree Moody are the three. Bree Moody is quite expensive now. She's well over $1 million, 1.136. You're probably better off going a Mim Strom or Alice Edmonds now, or could even go Steph Wales, who's gone 99 and 90 in the last two. So I'd almost rather go there. Mim Strom 9.46 and Edmonds at 9.16. I've still got Schultz. So I'm not probably going to move off of her for the rest of the season. She's just been consistent, hasn't scored under 62 in any game this season. So she did have 460s in a row, but then 78 last week, which is good to see. So, I'm sticking with Matilda Schultz there. And then in the forward line, I think, again, it's a lot of these options that have been options for pretty much all season. Everyone's got Gardner. If you don't have Goldsworthy, good option if you can pay up for a Bonnie Too Good, who people haven't been able to get on yet. Sabrina Frederick, a great option. Chloe Malloy, don't mind. Revenge game against Collingwood. Kate Hall got Freo. Roberts has got the Bulldogs. Conway's got St Kilda. They're all the good options there. Chelsea Randall is a cheap option as well if you can't afford those top players there. She's down at 7.34, so it could be an option that you do consider as well. I've had her for a few weeks now, and she's definitely gotten better in the last couple of weeks, and I expect her to tag Jazz Garner this week. Like, that's Crow's going to look at how we're going to stop North. Randall going to Garner, I think, is pretty much a given. She'll play midfield. I think she'll score solid if she's playing midfield. So Randall is a good option to consider there as well. So I think that's all the questions. Yeah, there's no other questions come through. So I reckon we may cut it there because we're pretty much about 7 o'clock. So it gives us 15 minutes to just relax, get ready for the game to start this weekend. Tonight, not this weekend. Actually, I'll go through my tips and who I'll be tipping this weekend. So, tips for the weekend, I'm going Gold Coast tonight by 20 points. I'm going Melbourne over Freo, Brisbane over St Kilda. At this stage, I'm going the Bombers over Carlton. That's where I'm leaning to at the moment. I think Bombers will respond after a bit of a shock loss last week. West Coast and the Bulldogs. I'm going West Coast just because Bulldogs have got way too many injuries. So I think West Coast will be able to get it done over in the West. Richmond and Geelong have gone Geelong. I think Geelong did they lose last week? Or did they win last week? Geelong, lost to Collingwood last week. They beat Freo the week before. Lost to Geelong, lost to Essendon the week before. Lost to Melbourne. So a few losses lately for Geelong. So I just expect them to bounce back. Sydney and Collingwood. I've gone Collingwood. Adelaide and North Melbourne, I've gone Adelaide, and then Hawthorn and Port, I've gone Hawthorn. So, that's how I've gone with those. I've thought about maybe go Port there, but at this stage, I'll go Hawthorn. So, perfect. All right. Well, I think that's where we are going to cut it there, but appreciate everyone that did tune in on both Twitter and YouTube. Appreciate everyone that sent their questions in as well. If you did enjoy it, as I said before, make sure you do like the Twitter space and retweet it on Twitter. And if you did enjoy it on YouTube, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll be back with Tom, as always, on Sunday night for our round review at 7:30 Eastern, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And then that'll be 4:30 Perth time. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Smith Chips got last one here, says, so what's my trade? So I am going... At this stage, I'm going Georgie Prasparkas. I'm thinking she may get tagged this week. I'm going her up to Anne Hatchard. I'm going Nina Morrison to Sabrina Frederick, then going Talia Fellows to Lalawaifi. But I'm also thinking maybe go Sachi Syme to maybe get a little bit of cash gen, because maybe Sachi Syme makes 50k this week. I can go Mackin and Hurd down next week and then bring in a midfield. The only thing is I'm looking at it. I don't know exactly next week how I'm going to be able to get Ash Riddell. Looking at it, so maybe I don't do the Sabrina Frederick trade, and maybe I just hold Morrison, get Ali Anderson this week for Benici, and then maybe get a bit of cash from the players next week. Maybe, I'm not sure. That's maybe what I'm thinking about doing. So, but yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll catch everyone on Sunday night with Tom for and Bill just saying there. Thanks, Bay Legend. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate the